Oh gosh, I'm looking at the headlines throughout the week. There was one really that caught my eye. And full disclosure, I do not eat meat. But whether you do or not, this was a pretty horrific headline. Millions of factory farm chickens died. When the temperatures absolutely hit the roof, well, inside those factory farms, those sheds, it got to 45 degrees centigrade during the record heat wave. Workers were actually haunted with flashbacks from the stink and the carnage. Millions of those chickens died. Insiders claim some farms did little to protect the birds from severe heat. Honestly, I'm not going to go into it because even though DEFRA are looking into it, the scenes are just... It makes you really upset, so I'm not going to read any more than that. Now, it might surprise you then that there's been a survey about what the British think we are doing when it comes to animal rights, because we think in the UK that we have better animal welfare rules than the USA, Spain and France. However, many of those countries and some of the biggest states in the US have already or are planning on banning cages for laying hens. Now, it's still legal in the UK. So maybe... I don't know, maybe we're not as good as we think we are in the UK. To tell us more about that is Mark Abraham. You might recognise him. He's a vet, frequently on TV. Mark, thank you so much for your time. There are some issues. Just give us a roundup of what this survey has shown.
Well, the survey, first of all, thanks for inviting me on, Trisha. I've always been a big fan of yours. Well, we've got this sort of 200-year-old anniversary of the first ever animal welfare laws in the UK. And the survey kind of asked the British public whether they thought, as you said, our animal welfare laws are up to scratch. Are they better than other countries? And we're known as this sort of nation of animal lovers. But scratch the surface, and really we're not. And as you say, we've still got caged hens in this country. We've got 14 million laying caged hens in this country, where, as you say, states in America, other European countries have banned them. So we are lagging behind, and not just that, in other sort of sectors as well with regard to animal welfare. So in 2022, we should be doing better. We've got so much more science now, so much more understanding of animal welfare, of behaviour, of what these animals need to thrive. And a lot of it's ignored, and a lot of it's delayed, and sadly a lot of it's promised and nothing ever happens. So once again, as usual, it's up to the public to put pressure on politicians, on parliamentarians, on the decision makers to improve the lives of animals and actually to prioritise their welfare.
Now, we've talked about the chickens because, as I said, that was a headline that really struck me.
Sure.
You mentioned there that there are other areas once you scratch the surface. What other areas do you feel are being neglected when it comes to animal rights?
Well, Trisha, we've got the chickens in terms of the overcrowding, stressful conditions, uncomfortable, they can't perform their natural behaviours, dust bathing, perching, stretching their wings. These are normal natural behaviours that are being compromised or even forbidden in a lot of the cases. Factory farming in general, cows, sheep, pigs, are just kept so intensively indoors, again, not allowed to perform their natural behaviours. You've got situations where the government last year proposed this incredible sort of animal action plan to ban puppy smuggling, to ban the import of dogs with cropped ears, to ban primates as pets, to reform pet theft, to ban the live export of cattle and sheep. And yet it's now stalled in Westminster. And it's sad because, animal welfare is very important to the electorate. Animal welfare is low-hanging fruit, really, for the government, I think. If you improve animal welfare, you improve how the public sees the government's treatment of the most vulnerable. It's the Gandhi quote, you judge a nation on how it treats its animals, which is how it treats the most vulnerable. So it's frustrating as a campaigner, it's frustrating as a vet, it's frustrating as an animal lover, and I share the public's frustration because there's so many things that need to get over the line. Banning the import of fur, banning the import of foie gras, banning the import of trophy hunting.
Whoa. Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in there. Are you telling me that fur is still allowed to be imported?
Yeah.
Fur is still allowed to be imported?
Fur and foie gras have been banned as industries for over 20 years, yet we're still legally importing fur and importing foie gras. So we're still complicit. And this is disgusting because we should be doing better than this. And this is what makes us not the nation of animal lovers that people tend to think we are.
I'd actually go even further than that. Fur was like almost, real fur almost disappeared. I understand it's slowly but surely made a resurgence.
I visited a fur farm last October in Finland, the west coast of Finland, and a legal licensed fur farm. And just to be clear to all your viewers and listeners, just because something's legal and licensed doesn't mean it's prioritizing animal welfare or okay or even appropriate. It just means it's signed off as sort of legal cruelty, if you like. I visited this fur farm, hundreds, thousands of these poor little Arctic foxes, each in individual cages, rows and rows and rows, just horrific. And we are complicit in this cruelty because this is legal, licensed and imported into some of these high-end shops you get often in big cities. So as long as we are complicit, we are promoting cruelty and we are part of the problem.
Wow. And as you mentioned there, I know my good friend Dr. Amir Khan has spoken many times about the foie gras market as well. Do you think it's any excuse that many people don't know the conditions? I mean, when I was doing Channel 5 series You Are What You Eat, and I found out about cows and how they're fed all the stale chocolates, wrappers and all. And I was like, and some of the fast food chains and, and how they create the meat and what have you. And I was horrified. But a lot of people don't really know about that. There's still quite a lot of stuff that goes on behind closed doors that people either aren't aware of or thought had been, done away with.
Well, there's that, Trisha, and there's also, I think people are quite conveniently just not researching or not looking into what goes on because they like the taste of meat and they like the taste of meat, eggs, dairy products, whatever you want to call it. It was Paul McCartney said that if abattoirs had glass walls, no one would eat meat. And I couldn't agree more with that. So it's often convenient for people not to know what goes on. I'm not slamming the whole farming profession because there are people doing it really well. No. But my advice would be if you want to help animals or be part of the solution to alleviate animal welfare, then A, choose not to eat them or choose not to eat as much of them. Consider plant-based alternatives. We're incredibly lucky now to have all these different alternatives available to us, which they weren't around, 20, 30 years ago. Shop responsibly, check labelling, look for proof of high welfare, go organic. And it's good for us, it's good for animals, it's good for the planet to reduce our intake of meat and eggs and dairy and those sort of products. So there's something we can all do. But for this particular campaign, this is called Beatrice's campaign, named after a rescue chicken. This is her little toy. This was from the parliamentary reception behind me.
On the shelf, yeah.
On the shelf. This is Beatrice, and she was a rescue chicken. And she was rescued with no feathers. They'd all been plucked out. She was stressed, so she's sort of leading the campaign, if you like. And this is to ban the use of cages in the UK. You have to please, if you love animals, even if you don't, if you just want justice, go to thehumaneleague.co.uk, thehumaneleague.co.uk. And there's instructions on there on how to sort of email your MP or just email your MP. So you want this to end. It's not fair. And you want animal welfare to be prioritised. It's as simple as that. But the more pressure we put on the politicians, as you well know, the more likely we are to get change.
Absolutely. Mark, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. 200 years of animal welfare, and we've still got a ways to go there. Mark Abraham, OBE. Sad